The NBA has taken notice, as even though the Toronto Raptors are just 1-1 to start off this year, there are a few things going on amongst this Raptors organization that has turned the heads of not just opposing teams, but the entire NBA, the fans, the media, everyone in general. So we'll discuss all of that, including some important updates to discuss regarding this Dallas Mavericks game tonight versus the Toronto Raptors, including injuries and some interesting developments, some intel we are getting out there on the Mavs camp, which frankly is very, very intriguing. So lots of stuff to break down, that and many more updates, including a minor one like this, as the Raptors court for the in-season tournament has been leaked as well. I have the image up here on the screen, and I like the design. I like the graphics, the We Know North branding coming back. It's crazy how well that has done that campaign since the 2014 playoffs. The Raptors still integrating it out there into their style. So, I think this court looks cool, but really the big thing that Raptors fans are interested in this season is how the Raptors team is doing on that court, how they're doing out there, playing on top of that court. Can we make a run in the in-season tournament? More importantly, the playoffs and postseason. Well, there have been a lot of developments that, frankly, the NBA is taking notice on, and Scottie Barnes is leading the way in that area. As you can see in the screenshot here, there's a big moment from the night against the Milwaukee Bucks. We covered it out here on the live watch-along stream. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date and catch all the reactions to these games. But Scottie Barnes had a big moment flexing on Giannis. It felt like a big power play out there for Scottie, and there was some back and forth out there in the media, and the league was taking a look at it. So what is going on? Basically, Scottie came out and said that I was just trying to be aggressive, playing with force, going downhill. I made a good play, and I was obviously a little hyped. But overall, I just got to keep being aggressive, and the second half, it kind of went away a little bit. I got to keep playing with that force through the whole game. And first things first, I love that mentality for Scottie Barnes, because we've seen at times this man show flashes of brilliance, show flashes of intensity, being unstoppable, slashing and attacking the rim, no matter who's guarding him, even one of the best defenders in the NBA, and including Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Scottie, he is aware to that fact now, being in the league for a long time, and he can see it in the game, right? He was aggressive, he was rocking out there in the first half, and Scottie was ready to roll. But second half, things dial back, and then, the Bucks end up going on their run. So I like Scottie Barnes self-aware to that, and Giannis seems to respect it as well, as basically Giannis had a lot to say on the situation as well, saying, I have seen it all. I've seen older players come at me. I've seen younger players come at me. And now more younger players are coming at me. And it's something that I love, because it's something I did when I was younger. I played guys who have been in the league for a lot of years and have established themselves as all-time greats. Whenever I had a matchup against them, I went full throttle, and I respect young players going full throttle at me, because it's a sign of respect for what I've created over 13 years in the league. But I've been in the league for 13 years. I've been in All-NBA 7 years in a row, so I think I've been coming out on top. So I like Giannis showing some appreciation, showing some love, and respect for Scottie Barnes for coming out and playing with that level of intensity, playing with that level of aggression. And one thing that should be noted on this back and forth as well is Scottie Barnes was, of course, thrown in a lot of trade rumors. There was a lot of Giannis watch happening over the course of this offseason. So Scottie Barnes, probably has some, not animosity towards Giannis directly, but wants to send a message to all the people that were throwing him in trade packages for Giannis Antetokounmpo this summer. So I like Scottie being motivated out there along those lines, and he said, I think I did a pretty good job. That ball pressure, not letting him get free space to go downhill, to attack, made him take more wider routes to the rim. I think I did a great job just making it tough for him right now. And yes, Giannis ended up having a really, really good game out there against the Raptors. There's no denying that. But, that's just what's going to happen when you're facing one of the top guys out there in the league. But I agree. I think Scottie Barnes played him very well, played very aggressive defense, and started to move forward there. So very interesting stuff, interesting development there. Nice to see a veteran show some appreciation for Scottie Barnes, but it's not just him, as Big Perk is coming out and saying, please do not sleep on the Toronto Raptors. I'm not saying they're title contenders, but I am saying that when it's all said and done, they will be a top 6 seed in the East. And Big Perk is out here watching Raptors Digest streams, watching Raptors Digest takes, because I have been adamant out here on these videos saying that I think this Toronto Raptors team, again, there's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be a roller coaster of a year, but this team has the talent, they have the coaching, they have the ability to be a top 6 seed. The only thing that really, in my opinion, they need to shore up is that front line, because I think Jakob Poeltl, Mamu Kalashvili are great out there, running that center position, but of course, Mamu, I think, is more naturally suited, better apt to be a power forward. I think Murray Boyles will help a ton out there at that center spot, playing a small ball 5, being able to guard some of those bigger guys out there down in the paint, but he's dealing with an injury right now, which we will discuss now in the next minute or so. But The Toronto Raptors, if they can just get one more reliable big, especially if injuries start to stockpile and come into play, then foul trouble as we've seen in recent games, you need to have one more big, and then this team is really well-rounded, really well-structured to go on a run out there in the Eastern Conference and be a top 6 seed. So I've marked my stamp of approval. I agree with Big Perk, and people are starting to take notice on everything that's going on. But of course, we are 1-1. We need to rack up those wins. So we have an important game coming up against the Dallas Mavericks tonight. And speaking of that front line, we do have a development in terms of Colin Murray-Boyles. As right now, Colin Murray-Boyles is questionable for tonight's game against the Dallas Mavericks. So no further updates. I was hoping we would get some more insight this afternoon, but it didn't come out. So Josh Lundberg is real. Colin Murray-Boyles questionable for tonight's game. Again, we need this man healthy. We need our extra big man, our young guy, to come out in the mix and have some impact out there on this team, because we're facing up against the Dallas Mavericks team that is in shambles right now. Again, we have some interesting intel regarding this Mavericks team from Mavs Digest, which we'll discuss. But basically, Anthony Davis has been really good for the squad. Cooper Flagg, of course, their number 1 overall pick. We were trying to capture that flag last season, but I'm pretty happy with Colin Murray-Boyles. But the rest of the team has been looking fairly shaky out there. Of course, Kyrie Irving is still dealing with that injury, and PJ Washington is good, but they have a very, very tall front line. You have Derek Lively as well as Anthony Davis out there in the paint. So you're going to need someone to stop AD. You're going to need someone to be able to stop him down low. Jakob Poeltl I trust, but of course, we've been dealing with a ton of foul trouble to start off this year. So, the Dallas Mavericks right now are 0-2, and they had a very ugly loss to the Washington Wizards in their most recent outing. So it's a game that's very gettable for the Toronto Raptors. We will be live reacting to it out here on the channel. Might be a little bit late. I have basketball before, but I should be home by the time this is going. But the Raptors facing off against the Dallas Mavericks, who end up getting slapped around by Victor Wembanyama at the start of this NBA season, which was just a crazy performance, but also lost to the Wizards, who people I think are underrating a little bit, but they aren't super highly regarded. And one thing that's not a crazy Raptors update, so to speak, but interesting Mavericks intel. But basically, this is Marcel. Everyone on the channel should know Marcel here now at this point. But basically, we have this update. 2 sources to me have confirmed, and I'm talking to Marcel pretty well every day. But that after, so this is legit. That after tonight's loss against the Washington Wizards, Jason Kidd overheard talking to his wife and allegedly said, "I don't know if I can deal with this anymore." The context of the quote is unclear, but Jason Kidd was late to this post-game interview with the media due to alleged team meeting. At this time, what was said at the meeting is unclear. And we've gotten some details out there. Marcel's been breaking all this stuff down. Definitely check out Mavericks Digest after tonight's game. No support in Mavs until the Raptors beat them. So stay for our stream instead of the Mavs stream. But I digress. But we might see Jason Kidd, if we end up slapping this team around, if we end up bullying the squad, it's apparent that Jason Kidd wasn't that happy with the Luka trade. There's been some animosity there. He is not happy with what's going on for this Mavericks team, and he doesn't know how long he can do it. Could we get, if the Raptors slap around the Dallas Mavericks tonight, could we see Jason Kidd quit on the Mavericks? I would love to see it. I would love the Raptors to be that reason for a coach to get fired or to quit or something like that. Hey, I guess I don't want everyone fired, but it'd be funny if he quitted. We demoralized them with a big W. So I digress. I'm hoping for a Toronto Raptors win. Make sure to tune in for the live stream here tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are the best to make us far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out.